This is Scotty Reed with Black Talk Radio News Report update surrounding the death of Victor White III, the new Iberia man who state police says shot and killed himself back in March while he was in custody in the back seat of an Iberia Parish Sheriff's Department's car. They first reported that the young man shot himself in the back. Now the coroner's report contradicts that and says that the young man was shot in the chest. Now, we sent an email off to the coroner. His name is Dr. Carl M. Ditch, and there is a press release that he issued determining how he arrived at his conclusion that the young man committed suicide. Now, this is what the press report says, or the press release says. It says the family of Victor White III was called to meet with me personally on August 14, 2014, and at that time were given a copy of the completed autopsy report and my findings concerning the tragic death of their son. That same day, a copy of the report was given to the investigating authorities, i.e. the state police and the district attorney's office. No public press release was made at that time since the manner of death was determined to be suicide, and the coroner's office has a policy of not releasing details of suicide deaths to the public. Due to events since that time, however, I feel this press release is necessary. Now, he goes on to state that as coroner of Iberia Parish, it is my duty to rule on cause and manner of death in all such cases as Mr. White's to the best of my ability and without bias. Based on the forensic evidence and information gained from the ongoing state police investigation, I have determined the cause of death is a single contact gunshot wound to the right lateral chest, and the manner of death is suicide. Although the decedent was handcuffed at the time with his hands to his back due to his body habitus, the pathologists and investigators agree that he would have been able to manipulate the weapon to the point where the contact entrance wound was found. The manner of death was determined to be suicide based on information gained from the ongoing state police investigation that at this point is not complete and has not been released to the public as of yet. And while I cannot recall the young man's name, there was another black male, as is Victor White III, who allegedly killed himself with his hands handcuffed behind his back and with a weapon that mysteriously appears after they have been searched. And what they did, the police did a reenactment, and it looked like they handcuffed the actor with leg chains, which of course will be way longer than normal handcuffs. And, you know, if you handcuff yourself or tie your hands behind your back, there is no way that you will be able to manipulate a weapon, as they are alleging that Victor White III shot himself, manipulate his body to the point that he could shoot himself in the chest. Also, there is issue with coroners or anybody, you know, associated with the state, with the authorities, who make their determinations based off of what the authorities investigating are telling them. And so, again, why would this young man, as his family alleges, kill himself? He wasn't suicidal. Did he leave a note? Did he make a statement to the police officer that he wanted to die? And of course, you know, the story of the arresting officer whose identity is being shielded from the public, of course, in an area where he was parked his car to get Mr. White out of the car. There were no cameras present. He claims that he left the young man alone and went to get help because the young man refused to get out of the car. And, you know, what's wrong with that story? Well, what's wrong with that story is he has a radio in the car, and he probably has a radio on his person. So it just makes no sense that a law enforcement officer, in this case a sheriff's deputy, would leave a person in their custody by themselves while they run off to go get help. That just makes absolutely no sense. And this coroner's office report, the Iberia Parish Coroner's office report, makes absolutely no sense. This is Scotty Reed for Black Talk Radio News.